Okay. A very good afternoon to all the history enthusiasts. Welcome back to the third session of our one-day national webinar on cultural dimensions of epigraphical heritage in Karnataka. With us today, we have Swaminathan, former Deputy Superintending Epigraphist, Epigraphy Branch of Archaeological Survey of India, Mysore. Sir, it is an honor to have you with us today on the stage. I welcome you on behalf of the history enthusiasts and Srimati Bangaramma Sajjan College. I also like to welcome our honorary president, Shri Nandan Shastri sir, on this occasion. My dear friend, co-host and founder vice president of the history enthusiast, Ms. Nidhi Katti. And last but not the least, I welcome all the participants and all the audience members. Welcome you all. I now request Ms. Nidhi Katti to introduce our today's resource person.
Thank you, Manali. Thank you so much. And I also take this opportunity to introduce our founder, president of the History Enthusiast Association, Ms. Manali Momaya. I'll now introduce Swaminathan sir. As he is 70 years old, but still enthusiastic and as young in research and activities. His qualifications are MA History, MA Tamil in B.Ed and PhD. He obtained first class in all these courses, and he completed his PhD from Mysore University, served as epigraphist in Archaeological Survey of India for more than 3 decades. And he wrote around 280 articles, even more than that, in various national, international journals and felicitation volumes. He has written 4 books and has also edited 3 volumes of S.Swinathan, delivered a number of lectures in many universities, colleges all over India, and has also visited Canada twice on study tour. He edited 2 articles in Epigraphia Indica, served as an editor of the Place Name Society of India and treasurer of Epigraphical Society of India. Swaminathan sir has also served in the ICHR project on Dictionary of Epigraphical Terms. Now he is preparing a comprehensive bibliography on Kanchipuram. And of course, till now he is working and very active regarding his specialization. And he also went on tour to many places in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and copied a large number of inscriptions, which of course naturally helped many researchers, scholars for their further studies. We are blessed to have such an experienced person as a resource person today with us. So thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Now I request Swaminathan sir to start his lecture. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, all. Thank you, Dr. Nidhi Katti, for giving me an excellent introduction, though I don't deserve many of the encomiums which you heaped on me. As an humble student of history, I did what all I could do. So I am a student of history right from the beginning, and I joined the epigraphy branch in 1980. And when I joined this branch, the branch was adorned by stalwarts like K.J. Krishnan, K.V. Ramesh, and all the people. And these people initiated me into the mysteries of epigraphy and shaped me into an epigraphist. I have been working on South Indian epigraphy, that is Chera, Chola, Pandya region, and I also studied, because the epigraphy office is located at Mysore. I have had a good fortune of interacting with the Kannada epigraphist, and I also studied the inscriptions of Kadambas, the Chalukyas, the Rashtrakutas, of course the Hoyslas and other people. Now I am going to discuss about the Chola administration, some aspects of the Chola administration in Karnataka. You know, Chola dynasty is one of the important dynasties that exercised sovereignty over South India for more than 400 years, from 850 to 1250 AD. This dynasty produced mighty conquerors and able administrators. They left behind some 10,000 inscriptions. In fact, the chronology of Cholas have been successfully worked out, and enabled the historians and epigraphists to fix the chronology without any difficulties. Unlike the other dynasty, there were some problems relating to their succession, their battle, and their death. But in case of Cholas, it is not so, because all the chronology, all the dates have been sufficiently worked out by eminent scholars. So they left behind 10,000 inscriptions, and the inscriptions are available throughout the length and breadth of Tamil Nadu and southern portion of Karnataka and northern portion of Andhra. And we have got one inscription in Odisha also. And in Ceylon also, the Ceylon was also the colony of the Cholas. The Cholas were great epigraphists. The Cholas incised large number of inscriptions. And it is a pleasure to study the inscriptions of the Cholas. And each inscription is a subject by itself. Every inscription on the face of it looks a dull and dreary and puerile transaction. But in case of Cholas, every inscription throws light, either political or cultural or social or economic life. So I was very fortunate in having this Chola history as my topic for my PhD. In fact, my PhD thesis related to Chola history. That is, I did PhD on Chola Parantaka first and his times, and I have had a fascination for Cholas. That does not mean I don't have any liking for other dynasties, but to other dynasties, compared to other dynasties, the Chola dynasty stands head and shoulder over other dynasties. And the Cholas king like Parantaka, Rajaraja, Rajendra, Veerarajendra, Rajadiraja, Adhirajendra, they left indelible legacy to the posterity. Their temples, Rajaraja temple, the Gangegonda Cholapuram temple, and this Pullemangai temple, then Satan Koil temple, and all the temples are architecturally beauty and sculpture, exquisite sculpture. So one of the best dynasties I can say, the best dynasty, though I may be a bit exaggeration, the best dynasty I can say, the Chola dynasty. Now coming back to the topic, the imperial, some aspects of the Chola rule in Karnataka. The advent of the Cholas in Karnataka heralded a new epoch, not only in the history of Tamil Nadu, but also that of Karnataka. Their occupation of South Karnataka and impact of their activities on the culture and polity is really astounding and form an important study. They left their impress on all walks of life. They left their impress on all walks of life. Unfortunately, the imperial Cholas in Karnataka, the subject has not attracted that much attention among the epigraphists and scholars. The Chola dynasty produced not only mighty conquerors, but also able administrators. They were not satisfied with mere conquest alone, but much more than that. They evolved a sound administrative system which was emulated by the subsequent dynasties who ruled over South Karnataka after the exit of Cholas, like the Hoysalas and the Vijayanagar rulers. So, as said, inscriptions form the most important source for this study. Nearly 230 Chola inscriptions are available in South Karnataka. They are mostly in Tamil language and Tamil script. A few inscriptions are in Kannada language and Kannada script, and a few inscriptions are in Tamil script and Kannada language, and some inscriptions are Kannada script and Tamil language. For example, in a place like Honganur, it is in Tamil script and Kannada language. But in two places like Tonnur and Talakad, it is in Kannada language and Tamil script. So it tried to accommodate all the people, the Kannadigas, to enable to understand Tamil, and Tamil people to understand the Kannadigas. So it is a sort of an inscription that wanted to accommodate all the people under the Chola rule. And Chola inscriptions are available in southern Karnataka, that is Chamarajanagar, Mysore, Mandya, Tumkur, then Bangalore, and Kudagu, and as well as Kolar. So the contact between Tamil. Now let me talk about the history of the connection, history of the relationship between Cholas, that is Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. Necessarily, I have to touch upon this subject. In fact, the relationship between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu go back to the 1st century BC. In fact, a place called Chittanavasal in Pudukkottai district in Tamil Nadu, there were a number of caves, and these caves were occupied by the Jaina monks. In one of the caves, it is written in Tamil Brahmic characters of 1st century BC. That is, in a place called Chittanavasal, there were a number of ancient caves occupied by the Jainas. In one of the caves, there is a Tamil Brahmi inscription and Tamil language. It is a Tamil Brahmi inscription and Tamil script, and it is dated to 1st century BC. The inscription reads, எருமையூர் நாட்டு குமிழியூர் பிறந்த காவடி தென்கு சிறுபோசில் இளையர் செய்த அதிட்டானம். எருமையூர் நாட்டு குமிழியூர் பிறந்த காவடி தென்கு சிறுபோசில் இளையர் செய்த அதிட்டானம். That is, a person by name Kavidi who was born at Kumiliyur in Erumainadu got this posil, that is entrance door, by Ilayar. That is, a person Kavidi who was born at Kumiliyur in Erumainadu got the entrance door made by Ilayar. Here, this Erumainadu is nothing but Maishamandala, that is Mysore region. Mysore region. So it is evident the people of Mysore went to Tamil Nadu and occupied those cave areas. You must remember history in this aspect. See, after the famine in Magadha, many Jaina monks migrated from Magadha to Karnataka and from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu. So one such person from Sravadabalagola or Mysore Jaina monk migrated to Pudukkottai and he got this inscription engraved. A person by name Ilayar got the cave ready and dressed up for this. So it shows that the Jaina monks lived in the outskirts and they came from Karnataka and they came from Maishamandala, that is Mysore, and a person got the cave and it is found written in Tamil Brahmi script and Tamil language. That is one part of the story. The date of the inscription is 1st century BC. Then coming to the second inscription, on the outskirts of Chitradurga city, there is a village called Tamattakallu. Tamattakallu is a small hamlet which lies on the outskirts of Chitradurga. There is a stone that is laying on this village. So this Tamattakallu inscription has got an image, has got the carved images, embossed images. Then below these images, there is a beautiful Sanskrit inscription written in Kannada characters. That is, in Tamattakallu, there is a stone was lying. In that stone, there are embossed sculptures. Below the sculptures, there is an inscription, beautiful Sanskrit inscription. It is written in Kannada characters. On the top of the temple, on the top of the stone, there is a very small inscription of 3 lines. Very small inscription of 3 lines, and it reads 3 lines. It is in Tamil language and Vatteluttu characters. It is in Tamil language and Vatteluttu characters on the top of the stone. It reads Elur Monalanjathan. That is a person from Elur. His name was Monalanjathan. He got this sculpture as well as this inscription engraved. So the date of this inscription is 5th century AD. So right from the beginning, the people of Karnataka, the people of Tamil Nadu went there and vice versa. There is a communication, there's a traffic between these 2 states. Now, let me go to the most interesting part of it. Now, let me talk about the Chalukya Pallava relations. The Chalukyas of Vatapi as well as the Pallavas of Kanchi were contemporaries, but they were always in a state of war. In 633 CE or AD or so, the Chalukyan king Pulikeshin II went to Kanchipuram, defeated the Pallava ruler Mahendravarman I and his prince Narasimhavarman I, ravaged Pallava's capital and went back. The Pallavas did not keep quiet and they wanted to teach a lesson to the Chalukyas. In 643 or so, Narasimhavarman I Pallavamalla strengthened his armed forces, went to Vatapi, that is Chalukyan capital, destroyed the city, and he also destroyed the old inscription of Pulikeshin I, the predecessor of this dynasty. Not only that, this Narasimhavarman I also carved his Sanskrit inscription in Grantha characters. This Grantha characters was used in Tamil country to write Sanskrit inscription. Because in Tamil Nadu, Tamil language does not have this Varga, soft consonants and conjunct consonants. So in order to write this Sanskrit inscription, they invented a script, a lipi called Grantha script. So Narasimhavarman I destroyed Vatapi, put up his inscription in Sanskrit language, Tamil Grantha character. But the story did not stop there. Vikramaditya II, the Chalukyan king, in 735 or so, he wanted to teach the Pallavas a lesson. He came to Kanchipuram with his army, defeated the Pallavas in several battles. At that time, the Pallava ruler was Rajasimha II. So, this Rajasimha II hid himself in the palace. Then Vikramaditya II wanted to destroy Kanchipuram, and he went around the city of Kanchipuram and he fell in love with the beauty, magnificence and grandeur of the city. And he also saw the beautiful masterpiece of the temple architecture, Kailasanatha temple, which was just constructed. Even now, if you visit Kanchipuram, and even now, if you visit this Kailasanatha temple, nothing but you would admire the beauty of the artisans of those periods. So he fell in love with the temple. We fell in love with the magnificence, the beauty and architectural details of this temple. So he came here as a conqueror, but he was conquered by the majesty and beauty of Kanchipuram and architectural marvel of this Kailasanatha temple. He donated what all he looted from the city back to the temple and put up an inscription to that. So a real organizer as he was, is Vikramaditya II, put up an inscription in Kannada characters and Kannada language, and the person who wrote this Kannada inscription is Srimad Anivarda Punyavallabha. This Srimad Anivarda Punyavallabha got his inscription in Kannada characters, Kannada language, on the pillar of Kailasanatha temple at Kanchipuram. Even now, if you go, you can see this. So it is an act of revenge. First of all, this Narasimhavarman first went there, destroyed the Vatapi capital, and put up his inscription, Tamil Grantha characters, which is available only in Tamil Nadu. So just to show his paramountcy, that he was no way inferior to the Pallavas, Vikramaditya II, and deliberately he put up an inscription to that effect, and anywhere the Punyavallabhachari was the architect, was the person who wrote this. The king was, Vikramaditya II was so obsessed with the beauty and grandeur of this Kailasanatha temple, he took the architect with him to his city, to his Chalukyan capital, and there he constructed a beautiful temple, Lokamadeshwara temple, on the model of Kailasanatha temple. This temple is in Pattadakkal. So Vikramaditya II, who came as a conqueror, he returned back all the wealth which he donated, took the architect with him, and he constructed a beautiful temple at Pattadakkal, Lokamadeshwara temple. Lokamahadevi was his queen. He constructed. If you see both this Kailasanatha temple and this Lokamahadevi temple, they resemble each other. They are the replica of each other. And there are also a number of inscriptions in this temple, and this inscription also, this person, Anivarda Punyavallabhachari figure. So this shows the king was so obsessed with the beauty of this Kailasanatha temple. He took the architect with him, got the temple constructed, and he put up the inscription. So that is why the great historian R. Nadasamy says, though the Pallavas and Chalukyas were bitter foes on the war front, they were dear to each other in the realm of art and culture. This is one phase of the story. Now coming to the Chola. The Chola occupation of Karnataka and the Chola administration in Karnataka form a very important chapter, because the Cholas left their impress on all walks of life in South Karnataka. In fact, it is very unfortunate that historians do not pay that much attention to this topic. I wonder why they are not paying sufficient attention to the Chola occupation of Karnataka. Now let me discuss this point in brief. That the earliest Chola inscription in Karnataka is from a place called Bhairapur in Kolar district. The earliest Chola inscription in Karnataka is from a place called Vijayapura in Kolar district. It is a hero stone inscription engraved in Kannada characters and Kannada language. It is dated in the 29th regnal year of the Chola king Parantaka I, that is 936 AD, 936 CE or AD for that matter. So, and it refers to the death of a person by name Ganibaraman in a cattle lifting, and a person by name Permadi Swaminathan gave a piece of land for the livelihood of the fallen hero. So Ganiban Raman died, and in order to support his family, Permadi Swaminathan gave a kandagam of land for the livelihood of the family of this person. Though on the face of it, it looks just like a hero stone, but it is much more than that. It is pregnant with a lot of details, lot of meanings in that. See, it may not be far-fetched to suggest that Cholas might have engineered a reconnecting right to study this area to bring it under their control. It is the Cholas might have engineered a reconnecting right to study this area to bring it under their control. Parantaka first, being an aggressive and ambitious monarch, defeated both the Banas and Vaidumbas and annexed their territories. Obviously, he wanted to annex this area. He wanted to annex, though he defeated Banas and Vaidumbas, Paranga did not keep quiet. he wanted to annex this area also. But but Parandaka was defeated in the Battle of Takkoram in 949 AD by the Rashtrakuta ruler Krishna III. Though Parandaka defeated Manas and Vaidumbas, he wanted to conquer this Gangapadi and Nodambapadi, Gangarodamba area. He wanted to conquer. So he sent a reconnoitering march. So he sent his people and they were killed. So whenever the Cholas wanted to conquer an area, first they sent a cattle lifting party. And once the cattle lifting party returned successfully, then they launched an attack. But before Parandaka could send a party to Karnataka, on the northern front, that is the northern front of Tamil Nadu, the terrible battle took place at Takkoram, in which the Chola king Parandaka was defeated by the Rashtrakuta Krishna III in the battle of Takkoram 949, and the Chola Empire was no more. In the words of Professor Nilakanta Sastri, the Chola Empire fell like 9 pins, and the Chola Empire is no more. The Chola bubble burst, and the Cholas had to start from the scratch. The Chola Empire had to start from the scratch. His successors, the Parandaka's successors, were not strong. Unlike Parandaka, they were not very strong. Though the Cholas were defeated by Rashtrakuta Krishna III, at least his successors could take up the cudgel and retrieve the foreign fortunes, but they were not very strong. They were not very strong. They are good people, they were good administrators, but they did not have the capacity or the character to retrieve the foreign fortunes. So, but the migration between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu continued forever. In fact, one of the ministers of Uttama Chola, who ruled from 971 to 987, is Ambalavan Paluvurnakkan of Kolara. This Kolara is nothing but Kolara district. So a person from Kolar came and occupied a top position in the Chola ministerial hierarchy. So, there was a constant migration between these two states, and the people of Karnataka could find a top layer in the administration of the Chola administrative system. So, this is the second phase. The third phase is the Chola aimed at bringing Gangapadi from the beginning under their sway. The Chola wanted to bring the Gangapadi region, that is South Karnataka, under their region. Apart from being goaded by imperialistic venture, they wanted to control the fertile region watered by the perennial river Kaveri in the south and Tungabhadra river in the north. So the Chola, right from the beginning, wanted to conquer this Gangapadi region. Why did they want to conquer the Gangapadi region? Because the Gangapadi region was a fertile region, was a fertile area, and it was watered by the perennial river Kaveri. So they wanted to control the region watered by the perennial river Kaveri in the south and Tungabhadra in the north. They wanted to conquer this area. They wanted to conquer this area. The salubrious climate of Karnataka, the beautiful climate of Karnataka, further whetted their ambition. But though they wanted to conquer, they did not have the wherewithal. They did not have the infrastructural facilities because of lack of diplomacy. Parandaka's first neglect of northern front and his defensive posture proved too costly for the Cholas, who were trounced in the Battle of Takkoram, as a result of which Gangapadi slipped out of the hands of the Cholas. So a portion of Gangapadi was under the control of the Cholas, but Parandaka was defeated by the Rashtrakuta king in the Battle of Takkoram, as a result of which the Gangapadi, which was conquered by the Cholas, slipped out of the hands of slipped out of their hands. They could re-establish their region. They could re-establish the paramountcy only after the accession of the great Chola Emperor Rajaraja I, 985 to 1018 AD, and they invaded and occupied the portion of South Karnataka. These Gangapadi, Tarigepadi, Nodambapadi, all these forms of the South Karnataka, and they could re-establish, they could conquer this region effectively only when the great Chola ruler Rajaraja ascended the Chola throne. The Chola invasion under Rajaraja is a very interesting historical event. The Chola invasion under Rajaraja started with an attack on Tadigaypadi and Talakkadu after crossing the river Kaveri from Kodagu. The Chola invasion of Karnataka by Rajaraja began with an attack on Tadigaypadi and Talakkadu after crossing the river Kaveri from Kodagu, was a grand success and made the Cholas as master of Karnataka for nearly 100 years. So they became a supreme leader. They became supreme in the entire Ganga state for more than a century. Of course, time was also favorable for the Cholas. The timely disappearance of the Rashtrakutas See, Rajaraja no doubt was a great ruler, but the time was also favorable for the Cholas. The timely disappearance of the Rashtrakutas in 973 AD prompted the Cholas to launch an attack on Gangapati. Because when the Rashtrakutas were no longer available, it was a time for Cholas and Rajaraja to attack on Gangapati. If the Chola attempt to conquer southern Karnataka, watered by the perennial river Kaveri, was dictated by economic terms, their efforts to bring the Ganga Nambapadi was due to strategic reasons. Do you follow? So, when the Cholas wanted to conquer the southern portion watered by Kaveri, it is due to the economic reasons. But the strategic reason dictated that they should also conquer this Ganga Nambapadi region. So Rajaraja was eminently successful. So after the fall of the Rashtrakutas in 973 AD, the Chola attacked on Tadiyapadi and Tadakade after crossing the river Kaveri. So time was also favorable. The threatening power of Rashtrakutas were already eliminated. So that made the Cholas the supreme leader, and they occupied this Gangapadi and Nambapadi region, that is South Karnataka, for more than a region. Rajaraja first, being a very shrewd monarch, did his homework thoroughly. He was not idolater. He did his homework thoroughly. He adopted altogether different strategy. His aim was to block all the northern passages. How did Rajaraja achieve this? How did Rajaraja achieve conquering this Ganga Nambapadi region? So Rajaraja, being a shrewd monarch, did his homework thoroughly. So he blocked the northern portion. There is no northern power to enter into the south. Because the Gangas were no longer available, the Rashtrakutas became a thing of the past, and the Chola general Manija, who was confident of Rajaraja, he defeated the Manija Chengalvas, and he started his own line of Pongalvas. The Pandyas were in disarray. So the Rashtrakutas were no longer available, the Gangas became weak, the Pandyas were in disarray, and he sealed the northern power. The northern power could not enter into south to cast an ice on Karnataka or the Chola country or Pandya country. So Rajaraja effectively sealed the northern portion, which made him supreme, both by diplomacy. In addition to that, he also enlisted the support of Vengi because he gave his daughter Kundabai in marriage to Indiki. So the matrimonial alliances further cemented. So Vengi was also supporting Rajaraja. The Chola general Manija conquered his Chengalvas, and Pandyas were no longer available, and Rashtrakuta. So Rajaraja was a lion in the big forest. He's the sole lion in the big forest, and he attacked this Gangapadi, Nambapadi. It fell like nine pins, and easily it fell into the hands of the Cholas, and Cholas conquered this region. Their ambition, their aim was fulfilled. Their aim was to conquer this region, watered by the perennial river Kaveri in the south, and another perennial river Tungabhadra in the north, so that they could establish their empire very vast. So economic terms as well as strategic terms dictated the Cholas to conquer this area, and Rajaraja first was eminently successful in occupying these regions. Then let me tell you another interesting episode. There is, excuse me. There is a village called Kaliyur in T. Narsipur Taluk, Mysore district. There is a village called Kaliyur in T. Narsipur Taluk, Mysore district. This village has a big inscription of Rajaraja and a number of hero stones as well as Sati stones. I have had the fortune of visiting this village in 2006. In 2006, I visited this village. This inscription of Rajaraja is in Kannada language and Kannada script. This inscription mentions that the Chola general Aprameya defeated the Gangas, killed the soldiers in heaps, which evoked awe and fear. The Kannada inscription says the Cholas conquered this Ganga territory, defeated the Ganga soldiers, and Chola general Aprameya defeated and killed the Ganga soldiers and heaped their body in big heap, which inspired awe and fear. Near this stone, that there are a number of hero stones. This hero stone, each and every hero stone has got 4 panels. The first panel refers to a soldier taking leave of his wife. The second panel depicts he was in the battlefield. The third panel portrays him being taken to the heaven by divine damsels. And fourth panel portrays him worshipping Lord Shiva. So it means he died. That is, he took leave of his people, fought a battle, and he was killed, and he was taken to heavenly abode. So it shows number of hero stones, and they died in the battlefield. And the sati stones depict the widows of the fallen heroes committed sati. That is why they are also portrayed. So the first big inscription says Aprameya killed a large number of heroes in this battlefield and made a heap of their body. The second hero stone inscription refers to the killing, and they were portrayed in picture forms. And the third is a sati stone, and many satis committed that many the sati stone remark that women committed sati on the death of their husband and reached the heavenly abode. And that is the very nature of the battle. It's a very tough battle, and I visited this site in 2006 AD.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I think sir got disconnected. He will be joining in 1 minute. I think there was some technical issue. He has joined back.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir. Yes.
Kaliyur, I was talking about Kaliyur. While I was discussing with the villagers, they told me a very surprising news. Even now, whenever they wanted to construct a house, when they start digging, they come across the human bones and skulls. So it shows the terrific nature of the battle. So the villagers told me an awful news that whenever they wanted to construct, from the construction, when they want to dig the earth, they could get the number of bones and skulls, which shows the terrific nature even now. So it shows the terrific nature of the battle. And the name Kaliyur, the Kali means wickedness, war, crookedness, and darkness. So probably the village obtained this name after this battle of Kaliyur, in which the Chola general Aprameya distinguished himself. So the Cholas became the master, undisputed king of this region till they were ousted by the Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana in 1130 CE. The Cholas left behind rich legacy, in Karnataka. The important Chola rulers like Rajaraja I and his son Rajendra, and the later son Rajadiraja, his brother Rajadiraja, Veera Rajendra II, as well as Kulothunga I and Vikrama Chola, they are all great. They are all ruled Karnataka, and they left behind a large number of inscriptions, and the inscriptions throw a flood of light on the economic life of the people and how the Cholas improved the economic status of the sleepy villages of Karnataka under the Ganga. Now let me read out. So then the first inscription, the earliest inscription after the conquest of this region, belongs to Rajaraja I, and it is dated in the 6th millennium. It is in Kannada language and Kannada script. It is from a place called Kempanapura. It is in Kannada language and Kannada script. It refers to the grant of land for feeding the monks as well as the students of the educational institution. The earliest inscription of Rajaraja I after his conquest belongs to the 6th millennium, that is 991 CE, and it is in Kannada language and Kannada script. It refers to the grant.
I request audience to be kindly patient. Our resource person shortly will rejoin. Please kindly wait patiently. Our resource person will rejoin. The feedback link will be shared in the WhatsApp group as well as in the chat box. The feedback link will be active only for 1 hour after the lecture till we complete the valedictory session. So I request all the audience to fill it. We have not yet shared it. At the end of this lecture, we will share it in the chat box so all the audience can fill the feedback. We are waiting for the resource person. They are joining soon. They had some technical glitch. They are resolving it. They'll join us soon.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
Let me continue. Rajaraja conquered
You
this
are on
area.
mute, sir. Sir, you are on mute. Your voice is not audible. You are on mute, sir. Yeah, now you are audible. Yes, yes.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
You will hear me.
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. Yes.
After the conquest of this area, Rajaraja became the master of this region. So the Cholas continued to rule this area for 119 years or 120 years, and they evolved a sound administration system. So the earliest inscription of Rajaraja first is dated in his 6th regnal year. It is from a place called Kempanapura, and it refers to the grant of land by a local chieftain and Rajaraja for feeding the students as well as these monks residing in that mata. So then the next inscription is, I have chosen a few select inscriptions. So an inscription of the same ruler dated in his 29th regnal year. Sir, எங்க போறீங்க? 29th regnal year. 29th regnal year is from a place called Malur Patana near Chennapatna. This temple has got a large number of Chola inscriptions, nearly 40 inscriptions. So this inscription, an inscription of this ruler dated in 29th regnal year, that is 1014 AD, records that the Sabha of Periyamalur, alias Rajendra Singha Chadurmedimangalam, met at the local Vishnu temple called Jayangonda Sola Vinnagar at Nigirli Solapuram in Manalur, in Periyamalur, in Rajendra Singha Mangaram. That is, in 29th regnal year of Rajaraja first is found engraved in a Vishnu temple at Periyamalur. This inscription says that on the day when the Vishnu Narayana was consecrated in the Vishnu temple at Vishnu temple at Jayangonda Sola Vinnagar in Nigirli Solapuram, the Sabha members, the local assembly of this Rajendra Singha Chadurvedingram met and they agreed to provide 2,850 kuri of land for providing wood offerings. That is, an inscription of Rajaraja dated in 29th regnal year is found engraved on the walls of the Vishnu temple. That inscription says that the local Sabai, the local assembly, met at the Vishnu temple called Jayangonda Sola Vinnagar on the day when the temple was consecrated, and they agreed to remit 2,850 kuri of land for the maintenance of the temple. Then the second assembly, that is in the same regnal year, that is 1014 AD, it records that another local assembly, Vandur, alias Solamadevi Chadurvedimangalam. First is Periyamalur, alias Rajendra Singha Chadurvedimangalam. Second is this Vandur, alias Solamadevi Chadurvedimangalam, met at the same platform on the same year, and they also agreed to give 3 kandugam of land for providing food offerings. That is, then the third inscription also belonged to the same regnal year of Rajaraja, that is 29th regnal year, that is 1014 CE, and the Sabha also met and agreed to provide land. So during the time when the temple was constructed, when the god Jayangonda Sola Vinnagar was consecrated, 3 Sabhas met at the same assembly at the same time and agreed to provide lands under the jurisdiction for conducting food offerings, for conducting ritual services in the temple. So it is thus evident that Vishnu temple was constructed during the Chola occupation of this Ganga Nalamba area, so also the creation of Brahminical settlements. So the Cholas not only created this temple, but also created Brahminical settlements, that is called Chaturvedi Mangalam, that is called Brahmadeyams. So the Cholas not only created, but also created Vishnu temples called Jayangunda Sola Vinnagar soon after the conquest of the south and southeastern Karnataka. That is, soon after the conquest of this Ganga region, south and southeastern Karnataka, they constructed Vishnu temple in this region. And they also created Brahmadeyas. Brahmadeya means the land or village granted to the Brahmins to administer. That is, 4 Brahmadeyas were created. Periyamalur alias Rajendra Singha Chadurvedimangalam, Vandur alias Solamadevi Chadurvedimangalam, Punganur alias Trailokya Mahadevi Chadurvedimangalam, and Kudalur alias Rajaraja Raja Chadurvedi Mangalam. These Chadurvedi Mangalams were created and temples were also established, and these sabhas or assemblies, 3 assemblies met and agreed to donate lands for providing food offerings to the god. So it is interesting to note that in this period, the 29th regnal year of Rajaraja, when he constructed this Gangapadi at this Nigari Sodamandalam, another beautiful and magnificent edifice was constructed at Tanjavur. That is, he constructed his own temple, Rajarajeshwara temple at Tanjavur, Tanjavur, and that is also the 29th regnal year, and it is also 29th regnal year. And 29th regnal year, one is consecrated at his capital, Tanjavur, and another is consecrated as conquered region, that is Mallur Patna. And it is very interesting to note an inscription, an important inscription of Rajaraja first at his capital, at the temple in his capital, Tanjavur, begins with a Sanskrit expression, Edat Vishwan Ripastreni Maulimala Paladitam Sasanam Rajarajasya Rajakesi Varmanaha. That is, Rajaraja constructed his magnificent edifice in his 29th regnal year, that is 1014 CE. During the same period, he also constructed this Vishnu temple at Mallur Patna. And in one of the temples, on one of the inscriptions of Mallur Patna, there is an expression of, there is a beginning sentence, there is a inscription of Rajaraja in Sanskrit language Grinda script. The same Sanskrit language Grinda script is found in his capital also. It shows Rajaraja did not make any discrimination and he continued to treat the conquered territories as his own. So he did not make any discrimination. When he consecrated the god, he employed this Edat Vishwarapashteni, that is, Rajaraja was the king of the universe, and it was his sasana, and Rajaraja's feet was adorned by the defeated king's crown. So the same expression in Sanskrit was found in Mallur Patna also. Both in Tanjavur as well as Mallur Patna, it shows Rajaraja, the Chola king, did not make any discrimination between this conquered region as his own capital. So, and he also donated land for the maintenance of this temple, because the 3 assemblies sat, discussed, and deliberated and gave land for the maintenance of this temple. Then the Saptamatrika temple at Kolar was in brick. So during the time of Rajaraja, during the time of his son Rajendra, when Rajendra was at his palace at Kanchipuram, he ordered his official Uttamasoda Brahmadirayan to convert this brick temple into a stone temple. That is, the Saptamatrika temple at Kolar was in brick. Previously, it was brick condition. So Rajendra wanted to convert it into a stone. So he ordered his top official Uttamasoda Brahmadirajan to get it converted into a stone temple. This Uttamasoda Brahmadirajan came all the way from Kanchipuram to Kolar, paid obeisance to the deity, gave cows for the milk bath of the temple for the deity, and he ordered the local chieftains by name Brahman Muttagavittan Tirupuri Ambalattadi, Brahman Muttagavittan Tirupuri Ambalattadi, and he asked him to convert it into stone temple, and accordingly it was converted to stone temple. So the Kolaraman temple at Kolar owes its stone construction during the time of Rajendra when he was at Palace Kanchipuram. And there is another inscription in the same place in Kolaraman temple. It says when Rajaraja was taking shelter was taking rest at his palace at Vikramasodapuram in Kaivaranadu, Nigari Sodamandalam, that is in South Karnataka. That is one Rajendra was in Kanchipuram. The second one is from a place called this Vikramasodapuram when he was taking shelter. These 2 inscriptions are engraved in Kolaraman temple, Kolar. When he was taking rest at Vikramasodapuram in Nigari Sodamandalam, he ordered the village Brahmapalli to be donated to the temple. In that sense, the people who paid taxes both in kind as well as gold, instead of giving to the state, they should give to the temple. So to the Pridara temple at Kolar. That is, when Rajendra was in Vikramasoda Mandalam, he ordered his official to grant that village Brigampalli to the temple, that is Pidariya temple at Kolar. It means that he forego he forego his collection, his share of taxes, both in kind as well as in cash. So instead of coming to the state, it would be deposited to the temple for conducting so many offerings, services, and festivals and other places. So many revenue officials figure as secretaries. So both Rajaraja and Rajendra were shrewd rulers, and they did not rest on their laurels. Both Rajaraja and Rajendra were very shrewd and intelligent rulers. They did not take rest on their wars after the victories. They wanted to provide a sound administration in the conquered state. They did not launch an attack on conquered Karnataka for its own sake. They wanted to tone up the administration. They wanted to revise the administration. Rajendra issued orders from Kanchipuram. Rajendra issued orders from Vikramaswamy. The Cholas, as I told you, did not treat this area as conquered region. The officials of the king, the best officials of the king from Cholamandalam were pressed into the service to tone up the administration. Both Rajaraja and Rajendra wanted to tone up the administration in Karnataka. For that, they engaged. For that, they transferred. For that, they asked the officials to go on deputation to Karnataka and tone up the administration. So they did not rest on their wars. They wanted to improve the condition. They did not mere satisfied with the conquest. So they wanted to improve the administrative system. At the same time, the Cholas did not discriminate against the local people. They did not discriminate against the local people in the sense they also wanted to tap the local talents. For example, an inscription of Rajendra first from a place called Kadagodi near Bangalore, it says an official Rajaraja, it says that is the Kamundan Rajaraja Vedan, a person, an official by name Kamundan Rajaraja Vedan, was asked to build a tank, to build 3 sluices, and also set up images of Brahma, images of Ganesha, Kshetrabala, and Durga, and donated land for its maintenance. That is, the Cholas also had the uncanny knack of spotting out talents among the local people. For example, an official of Rajendra Chola, it says that is Kamundan Rajaraja Velan. He was asked to excavate a tank, and he excavated a tank, built 3 sluices, and also set up the images of Ganesha, Durga, and Kshetrabala, and donated land for its maintenance. So the Cholas, the very name he suggested, this Kamundan suggests, he is from this place, Karnataka. So they did not make any discrimination, and they wanted to enlist the local talents also, so that people should not feel ill of the Chola kings. They were discriminated against the local people. They did not do so. They did not want to give any room for complacency or complaint, and that is why the Chola rule was a very enlightened rule in Karnataka. So, Tamil population. Now, let me talk about the role of the Tamil population in this region. The Tamil population which migrated to Karnataka prior to the Chola rule, because I told you in the beginning of my lecture, the Tamil population, there is a constant traffic between Tamil Nadu to Karnataka and Karnataka to Tamil Nadu. So it has been going since BC onwards. So when the Tamil population which migrated to South Karnataka prior to the Chola conquest, not only welcomed the Cholas, but also trained the local people to accept the Chola rule. The Tamil population, which had been occupying in Karnataka, even before the advent of the Cholas, they not only welcomed the Cholas, but also trained the local people to accept the Chola rules. As the Cholas appeased the local people by constructing temples, by creating BLDEAs, and by providing tax exemptions, and also enlisted the support, and also providing jobs both in civil services as well as administration, the people did not have any complaint against the Chola rule. So the Tamil population, which migrated to Karnataka prior to the Chola conquest, not only welcomed the Cholas, but also trained the local population to accept the Chola rule. As the rulers appeased them by constructing temples, providing employment and administration in the departments, waiving the taxes, they did not show any resistance to the Cholas. In fact, an inscription of Rajadiraja first from a place called Mandekere says his official Jayangunda Sola Vanagovarigan streamlined the land revenues. An inscription of Rajadiraja first, who ruled from 1054 AD, said that his officials Jayangunda Sola Vanagovarigan streamlined the tax structure by fixing 40% of land tax for the wetland and 25% of the dry lands. An inscription of Rajadiraja first records that is from a place called Mandakere. It records that his officials Jayangunda Sola Vanagobarian revamped the revenue system, and he fixed the land tax 40% for the wetlands and 25% for the dry lands. In that way, he revamped the tax system. Another inscription of the Chola ruler Kulothunga I, who ruled from 1070 to 1120 CE, it says his official Adagiya Sola Movendha Vedan cancelled the taxes on cattle, and he also regulated the taxes to be paid by the villages to the temple. That is, both the rulers, that is, this Jayangunda Sola Vanagobarian and Adagiya Sola Movendha Vedan revised that structure. This Adagiya Sola Movendha Vedan cancelled the taxes on cattle, and he also regulated the taxes to be paid by the villages to the temple for conducting offering and worship. So the Cholas also created a large number of Brahminical settlement. Why did they create a large number of Brahminical settlements? Because the Brahminical settlements were created as early as 500 AD in Tamil Nadu, according to an inscription that is obtained from Pulangurji. That is, the Brahmadeyas, the Brahminical settlements had been created in Tamil Nadu since long, because an inscription from a place called Pulangurji refers to Brahmadayam. So the Cholas wanted to create these Brahmadeyas because this Brahmadeya was controlled by Brahmins who was literate people and who could spread literacy and who were duty conscious, and the temples were under their control. They could control the temple finances, and they also provided legal as well as Rajanidhi advice to the king. So the Cholas, like in Tamil Nadu, they also created a large number of Brahmadeyas in Karnataka. They created Brahmadeyas, but mind you, they did not remove the original name. The original name was retained, and the king's name or the queen's name was appended with the original name. That is, for example, this Vandur Are Sodamadevi Chadurvedi Mangalam, they did not remove the nomenclature Vandur. So the Cholas established large number of Brahmadeyas in so many places, but the original name was retained, and the name of the villages was appended as a suffix with the original name. For example, Trailokya Madevi Chadurvedi Mangalam, Sodamadevi Chadurvedi Mangalam, Rajendra Simha Chadurvedi Mangalam were created by the Chola rulers to settle Tamil population which had migrated to Karnataka during the Chola rule. The Cholas created all these Brahmadeyams, all these Chadurvedi Mangalams in order to support the population which migrated along with them to Karnataka. So they created the Chadurvedi Mangalam in their name. So the kings gave their names or titles to the settlements. They continue to retain the old nomenclature. The conquerors initiated the process of naming several things after their names. For example, the liquid measures, rivers, tanks, trade guilds. So the Chola gave their names to not only rivers, tanks, to these officials, trade guilds, as well as coins. For example, Cholendra Simha Chadurvedi Mangalam, the Nigirli Solapuram, Thralokya Madevi Chadurvedi Mangalam, Nigirli Sola Chadurvedi Mangalam, these are all named after the Chola king. These are all named after the Chola ruler. So, and even the official's name was also appointed with the Chola kings. For example, an official is called Jayanganda Sola Vanagobarian, and another official is called Adagiya Sola Movendha Vedan. Then another official is called Jayanganda Sola Movendha Vedan. These Jayanganda and Adagiya Sola were all named after the Chola kings. So these officials were also conferred. It shows they are working under the direct control of the king. And even the name of the coin, Madurandagan Madai, this Madurandagan was the name of the Chola king, that is Rajendra, and in his name a coin was minted. It is called Madurandagan Madai. And the temples like Ravikula Manika Vinnagar, Jayanganda Sola Vinnagar, Rajendra Sola Vinnagar, Gangaikonda Sola Vinnagar. This Vinnagar means Vishnu temple. So many Vishnu temples were constructed after the names of the Chola kings. That is Ravikula Manika Vinnagar. Ravikula Manika was the name of Rajaraja. Jayangunda Sola Vinnagar is Jayangunda Sola was a title of Rajaraja, and Rajendra Sola Vinnagar and Gangaikonda Sola Vinnagar. So the Cholas wanted to Cholanize this area. They wanted to Cholanize this area. They wanted to tap the local talents. So thus by giving their names and titles, the Chola kings treated this newly acquired possession as their own. Thus by giving their names and titles, the Chola kings treated this possession as their own. The process of Cholanization was complete, and the Cholas could effectively control this area. The process of Cholanization was already completed, was initiated by Rajaraja, and was already completed during this period. By resorting to this method, the Cholas aimed at weaning the local people away from the erstwhile rulers whom they supplanted. By resorting to this method, the Chola rulers succeeded in weaning away the local people from their erstwhile rulers whom the Cholas supplanted, because the Cholas defeated the local rulers. So they wanted to rule this area. So in order to appease them and in order to placate them, the Cholas created BLDEAs and provided opportunities to them in jobs, in civil service as well as administration, and exempted taxes, restructured this revenue. So they wanted to do anything to placate the local population who could support the Cholas. The local population also did not oppose the Chola rule. So on the other hand, they supported the Chola king. So the Chola rulers were fully committed to the conquered people. So then they introduced their names or titles of the original names of the villages or of the names of the persons they sought to change. Again, the names of the Brahminical assemblies and temple priest. The names of the Brahminical assemblies, I told you, the names of the temple priest. For example, previously during the time of Kadambas or the Chalukyas or the Rashtrakutas, we do not hear anything about the names of the priest. But during the time of the Cholas, the temple played an important socio-economic institution. Temple was an important economic entity by itself. So the Shiva Brahmanas who performed the pujas, their names were also exhibited. They also formed a member of local assembly. They not only performed a puja in the temples, but also served in the local committees. For example, many temple Shiva Brahmanas, for example, Kausi Gotratta Subramanya Karmavittan, then Vasishta Gotratta Divakaran, Bharadwaja Gotratta Vishnayan, these are all name of the temple priest. And they played an important role in the local politics. They played an important role, positive role in the local politics. So these Brahmins were migrated from Tamil Nadu to Karnataka, and the Chola kings constructed temples and they were employed. So the Chola king, very statesman-like, they toned up the administration. They created so many temples, they created so many Brahmadeyas, and they brought the local population to tone up the administration as well as to keep the people of Karnataka in good humor. They did not want to antagonize or alienate the people. They did what all they could placate the local people. So that was the strategy, that was the ruse adopted by the Cholas to continue their rule. So besides the priest, the temples also offered new mode of worship. There were number of worship, number of services, number of rituals, number of festivals. See, the temples of Kadambas or the Chalukyas or Rashtrakutas are very simple, but the temples of Cholas were big. And we do not know anything about the mode of worship or the types of worship or the names of the priest. The Cholas learned the lesson from their predecessors, and the names of the priests were also known, and the number of rituals, the proliferation of rituals, the proliferation of service were also engraved on the walls of the temple. And donations were also given by the enlightened and generous person to conduct these rituals and services and festivals in these temples. So in the way, the Chola altogether changed the tenor of the social and economic milieu of this region. So the functions of the Brahminical assemblies call for certain remarks. They were created in fertile areas where water was available in plenty. Large parcels of land reclaimed. So they created Brahmadeyas in those places, those fertile lands which were watered by river Kaveri. Large parcels of wastelands were reclaimed. The immigrant Tamil population, the people who migrated from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu to Karnataka, they brought sophisticated techniques of land management and cultivation. The people of Tamil Nadu who migrated from Tamil Nadu to Karnataka, they brought sophisticated methods of agriculture, sophisticated methods of sophisticated implements, and they cultivated with the help of fertile lands watered by the perennial river Kaveri, and boosted the production, which filled the Chola treasury. So the Cholas created Brahmadeyas, and more fallow lands were brought under cultivation, and they improved the irrigation potentialities. And the local Tamil people brought sophisticated techniques of agricultural production, which boosted the yield and which filled the Chola coffer. So the creation of Brahmadeyas, excavation of tanks or rivers, and the establishment of temples, all related to each other, and the Cholas could establish a very sound economic administration. So all related to each other, and they boosted economic development. The Cholas gave new fillip to the otherwise backward and sleepy villages, but all these were aimed to gain their political gains. The Cholas gave new fillip to the backward and sleepy villages, but all these were aimed to consolidate their gains. The Cholas did not do so for free. The Cholas did all these things just to consolidate, just to strengthen his rule. So many lands were brought under cultivation, wastelands were cultivated, rivers were cultivated, irrigation potentialities were improved. The people were brought sophisticated and improved methods of agriculture, which boosted agriculture trade, which boosted grains and all these things. So the people could lead a life, and it indirectly consolidated the Chola rule. The Cholas left behind a rich legacy in Karnataka. The Cholas left behind a rich legacy in Karnataka. After the Cholas were driven out from Karnataka by the Hoysalas, and the Hoysalas also followed many of the activities of the Cholas. So the Hoysalas also constructed temples in South Karnataka, and this temple pattern followed the Chola pattern. The earlier dynasties like Kadambas, Chalukyas of Kalyana, and Rashtrakutas got their inscriptions on the loose stones. The earlier dynasties, loose stones. But the Cholas got their inscriptions engraved on the basement, on the walls, on the Jagadi portion. And Hoysalas also followed this method, and they also got their inscriptions engraved on the walls, the basement, Jagati, Kumuda, and Vimana. For example, the temples of Bedagoda, or Kollegala, or Ragara, or Chamarajanagar, or Hardanahalli, you can take this example. Following the Cholas example, the Hoysalas also created Chaturvedi Mangalams in Tamil occupation of Karnataka as well as in Tamil Nadu. Even the temple endowments, the Hoysalas followed the Chola pattern. Even the temple endowments, the Hoysalas also created a large number of temple endowments, and they also followed the Chola pattern of creating temple endowments. So the temple endowments of the Hoysalas, as reflected in the records at Belur, Tunnur, and Tunnur, Nagamangala, and Hardanahalli, all followed the Chola pattern. Even the temple endowments created by the Hoysalas followed the Chola method, because the Hoysalas occupied southern Karnataka, and the temples were already there, and they wanted to emulate the Chola pattern because they did not want to deviate from it. So the temple endowments like that is Somanatpura, Nagabangala, Belur, Kolar, the Cholas constructed, and they followed the Chola type of endowments. They made the Chola endowments. The previous rulers like Rashtrakutas or Kadambas or Chalukyas of Vatapi, we did not get any much reference about the temple endowments, but the Cholas created and the Hoysalas followed it. Near Chamarajanagar, there is a village called Mangalam. There is a hamlet called Mangalam. This Mangalam houses an important Vishnu temple, and on both the sides of this temple there are rows of houses. It is an agrahara. This agrahara was created by Hoysalas. Near this village, there is a field. In that field, I located an inscription of Rajadiraja. So it means this village was visited by the Chola Rajadiraja. He conquered it, but they could not consolidate their gains. So the Hoysalas picked up the thread, and they constructed a Shiva temple, and with rows of houses on both the sides, and there are also inscriptions on the basement and walls. So the Cholas imitated. The Hoysalas imitated the Chola style of architecture, the Chola style of endowments, the Chola style of temple worship, and all these things. The Cholas introduced Tamil. So then the Cholas introduced Tamil as the language in their inscription. In the beginning, when the Cholas conquered Karnataka, their inscriptions were in Kannada. But afterwards, they began to write the inscription in Tamil. The Hoysalas also followed the method. Though the Hoysalas were Karnataka rulers, but in this portion, which was occupied by Cholas, the Hoysalas got their inscriptions incised only in Tamil. Even the Hoysalas who conquered Tamil country in Tamil Nadu, they wrote their inscriptions in Tamil there also, and here also they wrote in Tamil only. So, because the local people were conversant in land revenue, the system of taxes, types of land only in Tamil. So, the Hoysalas did not deviate it. In other places, they might have deviated, wrote in Kannada, whereas in southern Karnataka, most of the Hoysala inscriptions are in Tamil only. So they imitated, they followed the Chola system of engraving the inscriptions in Tamil. The Cholas and the Hoysalas also issued copper plates. The Hoysalas also issued a copper plate called Belur copper plate. The earlier copper plates of the dynasty, like this Chalukyas of Vatapenda, they're all very small, just like a 1 feet scale, just like palm leaf manuscripts. Whereas the Cholas issued a very big copper plate, like Thiruvalangadu copper plate, Esalam copper plate, Indalur copper plate, then this Thiruvalangadu copper plate, then this Madras Museum plates. So following the Chola pattern, the Hoysalas also issued a Belur copper plate, which was strong, strengthy, which was strong, weighty, and stuffed with lot of details. The Hoysalas, the Cholas were the precursors of Hoysalas, and Hoysalas imitated most of the methods of the Cholas. Even the land revenue administration also, they did not deviate much from the Chola tenor. So they followed the Chola system of administration in land revenue also. So even in the field of architecture, the Cholas left behind a rich legacy. Though Hoysalas followed the Chalukyas of Kalyana in temple building activity, though the Hoysalas imitated the Chalukyas of Kalyana in building activity, it has to be noted that most of the Hoysala temples which do not fall into this tradition. Though the Hoysalas followed the Chalukyas of Kalyana tradition, many of the temples do not follow this traditional method. They followed the Chola methods only in South Karnataka. For example, this Tadakadu, then this Srirangapatna, Tonnur, Hardanahalli, and Belur, they followed the Chola system administration. And in here, though soap stones, red soap stones were available, they used granite. Though normally the Karnataka rulers resorted to the soapstone building construction only. Whereas in this area, though soapstones are available, the Hoysalas deliberately avoided, and they constructed Tonnur, as well as Tadakade, as well as the Srirangapatna, as well as Hardanahalli, Kunigal, and in all these places, they constructed only in granite. Probably the Hoysalas were trained in the granite construction. They followed the Chola tradition. Probably, it is my assumption, the Chola artisans, the Hoysala artisans were trained by the Chola artisans, and they were more exposed to the granite construction than the red soap construction of the temples. Rajaraja, then another 3 things I wanted to share with you. Rajaraja constructed a very big edifice, Rajarajeshwara temple, at his capital, Tanjavur. He employed 400 dancing girls who are well versed in dancing and music and fine arts, and he gave them to the temple for performing dancing and music. And he constructed rows of houses near the temple, and they are called as Tadicheri. Tadicheri is a quarters occupied by these dancing girls, 400 in number, created, and they were employed during the time of Rajaraja. Following the same pattern, there is a temple in Karnataka, a place called Lakshmiswara. There, an enlightened person, Anantamayan, he bought land from the local Kaundas and Mahajanas and constructed rows of houses around the temple, and that is called as Solagere. Sole means dancing girls, Gere means these quarters or the residential quarters or these dwelling places. So following the Chola pattern, during the same period in Lakshmiswar, there were rows of houses to accommodate the dancing girls. So this much the Cholas influenced Karnataka. And another important thing I want to tell is the Cholas constructed more and more Shiva temples in Tamil Nadu, whereas in Karnataka, most of the temples were Vaishnava temples. I do not mean they did not construct Shiva temple. They did construct Shiva temples, but most of the temples were Vishnu temples because to cater to the needs of the Vaishnava population. In Karnataka, Vaishnava population were more. To appease the local population, this Cholas constructed a large number of Vishnu temples. And as days went by, this Vaishnava population became more and more, and they became strong. So much so, they invited the great Vaishnava seer Ramanujacharya when he was troubled by the Chola king Kulothunga first. So this Vaishnava population began to grow in large numbers. They became dominant population. They were strong in numbers, and this Vaishnava population welcomed the great Vaishnava seer Ramanujacharya when he was confronted by the Chola king Kulothunga II and sought asylum here. And here Ramanujacharya came and constructed a beautiful Narayana temple at Velkote, which smacks of Chola architecture. So this is the end of my lecture, and I want to share two more points. Because see, in a place called Tunnur near Mandya, this Tunnur is a Vaishnava population. This inscription and a 12th century inscription in Tunnur, it is called as Tondanur. Tonda in Vaishnava parlance means a servant or a follower or a fan. So when Ramanujacharya entered into Karnataka from Srirangam, he was surrounded by a large number of his servile followers, large number of his admirers or fans. So that temple, the village was called as Tondanur after the followers of Ramanuja. Later in 12th century inscription, later on Tondanur was converted into Tunnur. That is one point. And the Cholas constructed many beautiful Vishnu temples here. And some of the Vishnu temples are this Kolaraman temple, that is this Mallur Patna Vishnu temple at Mallur Patna. Then Aprameya Vishnu temple at Perimalur. Then Bannur Narayana Swami temple and Janardana temple at Tadimalingi, and this another Vishnu temple at Chamarajanagar. So they constructed more Vishnu temples. And even now, if you visit many of the temples, that is up to some 60 years back, most of the Brahmins who performed worship in Shiva temples as well as Vishnu temples, they spoke Tamil. They settled here. Probably it is my hunch that these people might have migrated from Tamil Nadu to Karnataka. So this is the end of my lecture. Thank you for your patient hearing. Please, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Really, it was a very wonderful lecture. So we have some questions, sir. With your permission, can we take those questions?
By all means, why not? The topic is open for discussion.
Sure, sir. Sir, there is a question by Dayanand Hiremat. The question is how Chola accept Vaishnava religion and how they construct Vaishnava temples. That is the question asked by Dayanand Hiremat.
Could you please clarify your question once again? Why they construct Vishnu temples?
The question asked by Dayanand Hiremat is how Cholas accepted Vaishnava religion as they were basically Shaivas, and how they constructed Vaishnava temples.
See, the Cholas were staunch and ardent Shaivites. But when they came to know, most of the population were professing Vaishnava faith. So to placate, to please the local population, they constructed Vishnu temples here. So they did not want to antagonize. Unlike the later rulers, they did not want to antagonize local population. So in fact, a place called Tadimalingi, a Janardana temple, and this temple was constructed by no less person than the elder sister Rajaraja Kundavai. So the Cholas know which side of the bread is buttered. In other words, to put it in a somewhat vulgar manner, the Cholas did not want to antagonize. So make hay while the sun shines. So they knew the people's mentality. They knew the people religion. So they wanted to act as per the wishes of the people. So that is why they could construct a large number of Vishnu temples in Karnataka.
Okay. Thank you, sir. There is a question by S.K. Aruni, sir. ಸರ್ ನಂದಿ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಹತ್ತಿರದ ಭೋಗ ನಂದೀಶ್ವರ ಅವಳಿ ದೇವಾಲಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ಚೋಳ ರಾಜರಾಜ ದಾಳಿಗೈದನೆಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ರಾಜರಾಜ ದೊರೆಯ ಶಿಲ್ಪವಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ. Should I translate it in English, sir, for you?
Yes, please do.
Yes, sir. So S.K. Aruni sir has asked this question. According to the question, on the Nandi Betta, which is near Bhoga Nandishwara, there are two temples, and on those two temples, there is an inscription mentioning that Rajaraja Chola had attacked on those two particular temples. So there is also an idol of Rajaraja Chola on these two temples. He just wants to know your views on this particular event. Should I repeat the question, sir?
See, I do not know the answer because I have not come across this inscription or this. So, see, Rajaraja being enlightened and a Catholic monarch. So, in course of his consolidation, in course of the expansion, so one or two incidents of this nature might have been taken place. So,
Okay.
we can't come to any hasty conclusion. True, it also shows the negative image of Rajaraja. But in the course of construction, in the course of expansion of the Chola Empire into Karnataka, such things might have happened. But I have not come across this.
Sir, this Nandi Betta is near Bangalore, so it's very near to Bangalore. So the incident took place there.
So I have
Yeah.
not come.
Okay, sir. We will move to the next question, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you please tell the name of an engineer during the Chola period?
Engineer.
Engineer, someone has asked. Sumangala Armani, she has asked. I think she wants to know the name of architect. Rather than mentioning the name of architect, she has asked as engineer. I think she wants to know the names of architects who have constructed those inscriptions. I guess so. The question is,
Which inscription?
sir, I think she wants to know any name of architect, whether it is mentioned in inscriptions or not.
No. See, as far as I am concerned, during the time of the Pallava period, the Pallava, this Anivarda Pallava Rudra Achari, he was responsible, it is guessed that he was responsible for the construction of Lokamadeswara temple at Pattadakkal. Whether he was really architect or not, but he was the architect of the inscription that is found engraved in the Kailasanatha temple. And regarding the Cholas did not leave the name of any architect of the temples they constructed in Karnataka, but an architect who was responsible for the construction of Rajarajeswara temple at Tanjavur. His name is Rajaraja Sola Pirindachan. That is the chief architect of Rajaraja Sola Pirindachan. So I have not come across the name of the architect or engineers who designed this temple or constructed this.
Okay, sir. So there is one more
There might
question
be
by
that.
S.K. Aruni, sir. Okay. Yes, sir, you were telling something. There is one more question by S.K. Aruni, sir. Why are the Chola temples inferior to the Hoysala temples in Karnataka? Why Cholas did not build large-scale temples like Tanjavur's Brihadeshwara or Gangakonda Cholapuram in Karnataka? That is the question.
No, it is a source of mystery to me also. If Aruni could enlighten me, I would be very happy. Why Cholas did not construct a big temple in Karnataka? So they built temples, but they're all very small. I don't understand their logic. Why they could construct large temple in Gangaikonda Solapuram or in Rajarajeswara temple or in Dharasuram, Kumbakonam and in other places. But as far as this is concerned, they did not construct a very big temple. So it is a source of mystery to me. If anybody could enlighten me, I'd be too glad to accept their ideas. They construct only small temples. Probably they felt because the Chola king was not there, and it is only for the local people. They thought a small temple would do their religious purpose. And here, the people did not, it is my guess, I might be wrong, the people did not exhibit that much religious enthusiasm, because the temples of these Kadambas or the Chalukyas of Vatapi, they're all very small. And the inscription also did not speak much about the temple priest or the festivals or the rituals or services. So the Cholas might have read the inscriptions, and they thought just to placate the people, they wanted some place of worship. And for that, for example, this Mallur Patna is a beautiful, they got large number of Chola inscriptions. 19 Chola inscriptions are there. They are stuffed with a lot of details. In fact, I like the Chola inscriptions in Karnataka than the Chola inscriptions in Tamil Nadu, because the Chola inscriptions in Karnataka are stuffed with a lot of details. So, but which is not so in Tamil Nadu. So, probably due to certain factors, they did not want to construct big edifice in Karnataka. That might be the reason. They could have easily constructed a big temple here, at least 1 or 2 big temples, but they did not construct. So it's all, I can't answer ifs and buts in history, because sources are lacking.
Yes, sir. Again, one more question is there, sir. What kind of sophisticated tools for agricultural activities developed by the Chola? That is the question. And whether there is any mention about it in the inscription.
See, there is no mention of the sophisticated equipments employed by the Chola craftsmen to till the land. They might be depicted in the sculpture, but not in the inscriptions. They might be depicted in the sculpture. If in the Karnataka temples, they might be depicted, I do not know. But the way in which they produced, the way in which probably, see, prior to the establishment of Chola rule, the economy was not very vibrant. But soon after the conquest of Karnataka by Cholas, the economy was vibrant, dynamic, and fast-moving. So it means there is a developed method of agriculture, and this development of agriculture could have been taken place due to the sophisticated methods of agriculture and more water supply. So this is my view, and this view is supported and substantiated by other sources also. So we do not have direct evidence with what equipments they tilled the land, and how did they bring the water from Kaveri to this region. So all these things are all you should make guess, because once the economic prosperity is indicated by the construction of temples, once the economic prosperity is seen by the number of temple rituals and the number of persons who employed there, so it goes without saying the Chola state was a very vibrant and dynamic state. So you should guess like that. Each and everything, epigraph is not available. The person cannot write all these things. So these are all that guess, a learned guess. So beyond that, I can't advance any possible explanation or logical reasoning.
Okay, sir. So there is a question by Nandan Shastri ji, who is also honorary president of the History Enthusiasts. For administrative purposes, Dr. Swaminathan, will you please tell us about Mandala and Kottam terminology in Chola Kingdom? That's the question.
Mandala is a bigger division, and Kottam is a smaller division. So this Mandalam and Kottam were created during the time of Rajaraja first. Rajaraja first want to revamp the administrative system for this geographical nomenclature. So Rajaraja was the first ruler who studied the political geography of the Chola country, and accordingly he created both this Kottam as well as Mandalam. Jayangunda Sola Mandalatte, Paduvur Kottatte. Mandalam is a bigger concept and Kottam is a smaller one. So he constructed Mandalam, and within this Mandalam, the smaller geographical entities, the Kottam occurred. So this Mandalam and Kottam are nothing but territorial divisions or geographical divisions. Just like the state, this taluk, like that, this Mandalam, this that. So this is how I view. This is how my reading goes of the Chola history and Chola.
Thank you, Dr. Swaminathan.
Thank you. So kind of you. Thank you, sir.
So there is a question by Banali Mumaya, who is founder, president of the History Enthusiasts. Can we see influence of Tamil language and script on Kannada inscriptions of regions other than the frontiers? That is the question.
Very much there. I want to tell. See, See, very much there. There is a colloquial expression which is neither Kannada nor Tamil. Especially in Hunganur, what had happened, it is in Tamil script and Kannada language. So the people knew the Kannada Tamil script, and they also knew the Kannada language. Tamil script they knew. So they wanted to converse with people, and for that Tamil script is available. So there are a number of local Kannada expressions. So for example, Parameswara Bhattaragar Kachiyam Kundu, Raja Simmeswaram Dhammam Kandu, Magildu. So all these things are all local colloquial expressions. So when the two linguistic groups interacted with one another, there is bound to be some there is going to be some mixture. So it is also there. And even now, and even Ramanujacharya, many of his bhashyams contain, I am told, contain Kannada expressions. So Kannada is also a rich language like Tamil, and the people did not give up the Kannada language, though the Cholas came as a conqueror, and many Kannada expressions could found in Tamil language, so much so that whether this is a Kannada origin or Tamil origin. So many Kannada expressions, were found in Kannada language. I don't know where I have kept it. For example, you see, Badramastu, Jeena Parasamanga, Srimat Gunda Gundanvaya, Battarar Sishyer Gunanandi, Kamrakva Kridaba, Notu Mudita Nisedigai. In Tamil, it is Notru Mudita Nisedigai. This is Notu Mudita Nisedigai. So Srimat Gunda Gundavaya. In Tamil, it won't come. It is in Tamil script. So there is a mixture of both Kannada and Tamil, and they are complementing each other. So it's what I can say, it is a Manipravala style in the Chola period. So it continued even now. Even now, you can find a large number of linguistic differences when you edit the Chola, Tamil inscription Chola. For example, I edited one Chola inscription, Vasahalli inscription of Raja Mahendra. In that, there are so many Kannada colloquial expressions with the backing of Tamil language. So this is very much that when two people interacted, that is bound to be so.
Okay, thank you, sir. There is one more question by Leena Sarkar. The question is, Shaiva priests, role played by Shaiva and Vaishnava priests in Chola dynasty, something like that. The question is.
The Shaiva priests were employed in Shiva temple, and the Vaishnava priests were employed in Shiva temple. The Shaiva priests were employed in Chamarajanagar, at this in Hardanahalli and other places, Shiva temples. And Vaishnava priests in Talakade, Tunnur, Melkote, and all these things. So these priests, in the beginning, they are all transported from Tamil Nadu. I told you, Vatsa Gotrath Subramanya Kramavathan, Kaundinya Gotrath Divakara Bhattan, and Vatsa Gotrath Madhav Bhattan. So these people are all transported. Whether that is a Saiva priest or Vaishnava priest, in the beginning they were all transported, they were all imported from Tamil region. So it is like that. So Vaishnava priests were employed, and later on the Vaishnava priests were recruited in Karnataka itself. Even now, if you go to Vishnu temples, you could find most of the priests could speak Tamil, because they all came from during Chola region and much before that. So there was, I told you in the beginning itself, there was a constant migration of the people as early as BC. So not during the period. During the Chola period, it was accelerated. It was further given. But the migration between the Tamil Nadu people and Karnataka people were there since during historic times. So the Vaishnavas were there, Saivas were there. So they were all there. And their progenies are still performing worship. Even if you go to this Tundu, even if you go to Talakad, or if you go to other places, Vishnu temple, you could find that the priest could speak Tamil. But not so in Shiva temple. In Shiva temple, up to 60 years, they could speak Tamil. But later on, what had happened, because of constant migration, because of constant mingling with local people, they have forgotten. So some Shiva priests in temples do speak Tamil, but not as that of the Vaishnava temple.
Yes, I want to add on something here, sir. Recently, when I visited this Melukote temple, as you told, of course, till now there are of course Sri Vaishnava priests. They speak Tamil and Kannada both languages. I
Yes.
observed this recently when I visited Melukote. As you mentioned, I recollected. Yes,
See,
sir.
see, most of the Vaishnava literature are all in Tamil.
Yes.
This Tiruvambavai, Nalayira Divya Prabandham, Puriya Tiruvaimozhi are all in Tamil. They came here and settled. See, for example, I have been residing, I am a Tamilian from Tamil Nadu. I studied everything in Madras. I am a Pakka Tamilian. But I came here and settled in Mysore for the. So, I'm more fluent in Kannada than in. So, when they came here and settled what had happened, they are apt to forget their mother tongue, or their mother tongue is being influenced by the local lingo. This is how I view the thing.
Thank you, sir. There are some more questions. If you are fine with us with it, can we take them?
Okay.
Yeah. So can you please tell what is the contribution of Cholas in educational field, and is there any inscriptional document regarding that? This question is asked by Sumangala Armani.
See, the Chola contribution to education, you need a separate seminar for 10 days. Their contribution to education is really tremendous. It cannot be said in words. There is two inscriptions, Tirumukudal inscription of Veerarajendra and this Ennayiram inscription of Rajendra. These inscriptions talk about a large number of students. In fact, in Tirumukudal inscription, there was an education institution run by the village assemblies, and the students were taught in Mimamsa, then Vedas, then these other branches. And the students were also given oil bath on every Saturday. So I request the questioner who asked this question to read the Tirumukudal inscription of Veerarajendra in Epigraphia Indica, volume 21. So it cannot be discussed like this. The Chola's contribution to education was really tremendous. They ran Vedic schools. They taught Prabhakara. They taught Mimamsa. They taught Vyakarna. They taught so many other scientific. They taught Rigveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda, and all they taught. So they even they gave lot of lands, large chunk of lands for running the institutions. So in Ennayiram inscription also, Ennayiram inscription of Rajendra also, they talk elaborately about the subjects taught, the students and the teachers, their salary, and all these things are given very elaborately. So I cannot discuss all these things here. So the Cholas did make a lot of contribution in the field of education. This much I can say.
Thank you, sir.
So Tamil epigraphy is,
Yes, sir.
Tamil epigraphy is very rich. Like Kannada epigraphy, Tamil epigraphy is rich. It covers from the brown air to the blue sky, beyond all that, and sometimes there is an inscription on blue sky itself. So you have to read a lot because nearly 30,000 Tamil scripts are noticed. Still they are being noticed. Still they are being discovered. So you can't master the Tamil epigraphy. You can make only a sufficient achievement, but not completely master it. So the contribution made by the Chola to art and culture, quality, I told you, they left their impress on all walks of life. On all walks of life. The Cholas are not mere conquerors. They did conquer, but their contribution on the sphere of art, religion, culture, education is incredible. I can say incredible.
So last 3 questions are there. After that, we will not take any other question. If we get other questions, we will just WhatsApp you those. So
Okay.
we will take last 3 questions. How the viceroyalty and chiefmanship changed the Chola influence in Karnataka region?
Huh?
That is the question.
Please repeat.
How the viceroyalty and chiefmanship changed after Chola influence in Karnataka region?
That is, once the Cholas were driven out of Karnataka by the Hoysala Vishnuvardhana in 1130 AD, so all the officials went back with the Cholas. So new viceroyalty, for example, when the Cholas came here, after defeating these Gangas, and they brought their own officials. And they brought their own officials as well as the local talents. In the same way, once the Cholas disappeared from the scene, the officials either disappeared with the Cholas or they continued to linger on for some more time till they were fully eliminated or supplanted by the Hoysala officials. This is how I view things.
Yes, sir. Majid Rafiq Bhatt has asked a question. Sir, do Chola inscriptions mention about the control of political authority over various regions? Was control of Chola king same everywhere? That is the question.
Was Chola?
Sir, do Chola inscriptions mention about the control of political authority over various regions? Was control of Chola king same everywhere?
Yes. Whenever they wanted to engrave any inscription, any isolated places, any remote corner of the village or far-flung area, the name of the king first figures. Swasti Sri Rajendra Sola Devarku Yandu Panninundavadu. This inscription belongs to the time of Rajendra Sola in his 12th regnal year, whether it is Tamil Nadu or Karnataka. Suppose an inscription of Rajaraja is found in Karnataka. They first acknowledged the name of the king's regnal year as a matter of protocol, as a matter of honor, as a matter of prestige. Before that, it was an established practice in those good old days during the Chola period. So in that way, we could say this is the inscription of Raja. In that way, we could classify and differentiate. This is inscription of Rajaraja. This is inscription of Cholas, like
that. Thank you, sir. There is last question. After that, we will end the question answer session. The last question is, do we consider the Chola inscriptions as classical inscriptions of the Tamil Nadu? That is our last question of the session.
Classical inscriptions.
Yes, the question is, sir, do we consider the Chola inscriptions as classical inscriptions of the Tamil Nadu?
Chola inscriptions are all very important and they form the backbone of reconstructing the history of Tamil Nadu. So they are very important inscriptions. But I don't know whether it is a classic inscriptions or not. So the Chola inscriptions is found engraved in the layman's language. It is not a classical language or it is not a other thing. So it is a inscription, and some inscriptions are beautiful. Some inscriptions are for the layman like that. So I don't know whether Chola inscriptions are classical inscriptions or not. So I don't know the answer for this question.
Okay, sir. No problem. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for patiently answering so many questions. Thank you, sir. Before the valedictory session, I request our honorary president, Sri Nandan Shastri ji, to do the valedictory talk. And after that, we will end up with a vote of thanks. Over to you, Nandan, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Maybe am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Respected Dr. Swaminathan, Dr. Mallikarjun K. Nidhi, and other friends. Starting with the first lecture by Dr. T.S. Ravishankara, the inscriptions have helped to classify the eras of Proto-Kannada, pre-Old Kannada, Old Kannada, Middle Kannada, and New Kannada. Some significant inscriptions during a Chalukya period in Karnataka are Badami Chalukya, Aihole inscriptions, and Pattadakal. These inscriptions serve as a window into Chalukya dynasty's history, culture, and society, offering rich understanding of Karnataka's heritage. The second lecture by Dr. S.Y. Somashekhar was also very interesting. He illuminated the multifaceted role played by Vijayanagaran inscription as a source in establishing a powerful history of different sections of Vijayanagara, such as administrative, economic, cultural, religions, and military achievements, pious donations, etc. Dr. S. Swaminathan, who is having very vast knowledge. Uh, uh, we gain a lot uh, from his talk. The Chola dynasty ruled parts of Karnataka, particularly the western and southern regions, from 10th to 12th centuries. The Cholas established a well-organized administrative system as Mandala and Kota. They promoted Tamil culture, language, and literature. But the most outstanding temples are Brideshwara, Gangaikonda temple, and Arkeshwara temple. And Dr. Swaminathan, you will be glad to know that even outside South India, there are Chola inscriptions available in bronzes as well as in manuscripts. For example, with Asian Art Museum in San Francisco, United States, where I worked for 12 years, and in the University Museum, Sardar Patel University in central Gujarat. Dr. Nashirwan Tuti from University of Bombay donated his lifelong collection to our museum, and we have some inscriptions on bronzes from this Tuti collection. We have about 87 bronze images in our museum. So you will be glad to know that even outside South India, also people take a lot of interest in the inscription available in Karnataka. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
No.
Thank you so much, Nandan Shastri sir. Now I request Mallikarjun K, Head Department of History, Bangaramma Sajjan College, to do the vote of thanks of this webinar. Over to you, Mallikarjun.
Thank you, madam. Good evening to everyone. As we draw to this insightful one-day national webinar on cultural dimension of epigraphical heritage in Karnataka, organized by BLD's Srimati Bangaramma Sajjan, Arts, Commerce and Science College for Women, Vijayapura, in collaboration with the History Enthusiasts Association Karnataka, to a close. I, Mr. Mallikarjun Kengnad, Head Department of History, SBSWC Vijayapura, and organizing committee member of this webinar, grab this opportunity to propose vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to express my profound gratitude to our keynote speaker, Dr. T.S. Ravishankar, former Director, Epigraphy, Archaeological Survey of India, Mysore. Your keynote address set the stage for today's discussion and provided us with a clear and insightful introduction to the topic, has not only illuminated the profound impact of epigraphical heritage on Karnataka's cultural landscape, but has also sparked a renewed sense of appreciation for our rich history. Your expertise and eloquence have provided with a deeper understanding of the subject and have set a high standard for the discussion that followed. Once again, I extend my vote of thanks to you on behalf of college, organized committee, and my own behalf. A special thanks to our second resource person, Dr. S.Y. Somshekhar, Professor and Chairman, Department of Ancient History and Archaeology, Karnataka University, Hampi. Your expertise have significantly enriched our understanding. Once again, I extend my vote of thanks to you on behalf of college and organizing committee and my own behalf. I am also immensely grateful our resource person, Dr. S. Swaminathan sir, former Deputy Superintending Epigraphist, Epigraphy Branch, ASI Mysore. Your comprehensive and thought-provoking speech on was truly enlightening Once again, I extend my vote of thanks to you on behalf of our college, organizing committee, and my own behalf, sir. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere appreciation to President of today's webinar, Shri Nandan Shastri ji, for Honorary President, the history enthusiast. Your valuable contributions and expert insights have greatly enhanced the quality of today's discussions. Once again, I extend my vote of thanks to you on behalf of our college and the organizing committee and my own behalf. I would also like to acknowledge and relentless efforts of organizing committee members, Ms. Manali Momaya, founder president of the History Enthusiasts, and Ms. Nidhi Katti, founder vice president of the History Enthusiasts, one of our faculty member of Department History, Ms. Chandrakala Dudmani, and the students of Department of our History. Your hard work and dedication in planning and executing this webinar have made it resounding success. A special thanks to all participants and attendees who have taken time out of your busy schedules to join us today. Your enthusiasm and active participation have greatly contributed to the success of this event. We hope that knowledge and insights shared here will inspire you to delve deeper into Karnataka's epigraphical heritage and continue to explore its significance in our cultural context. I also like to extend my thanks to our principal, Dr. Y. Tammana sir, BLD's SBSWC Vijayapura, for supporting and guiding to organize this webinar. I propose my thanks to IQAC coordinator of our college, Professor V.S. Nandesh sir, for always giving helping hand to organize this webinar. Finally, I extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has directly and indirectly contributed to the success of this event. Your support and cooperation are deeply appreciated. In closing, let us carry forward the learnings from today and strive to preserve the celebrate this rich epigraphical heritage of Karnataka. Thank you all once again. I look forward to more such enriching interactions in the future. Thank you once again. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. We are also glad that we had this opportunity to collaborate with Bangaramma Sajjan College, and surely we will look forward for more such productive collaborations. Thank you so much. Stay happy, stay enthusiastic, and we are signing out here. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.